MY goes to the side lanes to fight against a Paquito or perhaps even an Alice, whichever works, right? As long as Jawhead gets the early start of the game and Popol and Koopa don't roam around that much, or rather not say that Popol and Koopa don't roam around that much, ensuring that Matilda as well as the Fasa constantly stays in the middle, the 50 line and just pushing everyone away, right?
But I've got to say, Baxia and Matilda, right, along with Bruno and that Fasa, so much mobility. On the side of RSG, they can rotate, they can gank so hard.
I'm really looking forward to see how RSG is going to play this out. I mean, Diablo though, he is going to be all the way up in the top lane fighting against
LY4.
Alice. LY4, a 1-to-1 head-on fight against Dada, but his regeneration is looking to be pretty darn scary. They had a really long fight, and yet his HP is all the way back up already.
He has revitalized, so that's revitalized pop right there, and Jason popping the flame shot too. I hope to see good snipes from Jason, right?
Yep.
For sure.
We should be expecting a little bit more
sidestep.
gameplay like that.
Yeah.
But Jason doesn't have any, unfortunately, no more flame shot in order to snipe that blue buff away from the hands of Suna. But Sana made his way downtown and trying to get a little bit of a, well, distraction, trying to push Dada away. That's exactly what a Matilda should do. Matilda moves on a lot of mobility, and it makes a lot of sense, right?
Huge mobility. I mean, look at it. You have Fasa, right? You have Fasa, you have Bruno, you have Matilda, and that Baxia. You can roam anywhere you want in the Land of Dawn. You can fly here, like what Singaporeans say, you can fly here, fly there, go fly kite, right? Literally anywhere in the Land of Dawn. The whole team of RSG is there to, back it up if they were to engage, especially, to body block for Jason along with Forza.
Well. The Soul Bloom from Sana is constantly being procced over and over again, and not to forget the Guiding Wind too. So putting a lot of spells into play and ensuring that they are putting up constant pressure onto the side of NV. And not to forget, this Jawhead is proxying up the lane, something that we don't see that often, especially since Popol and Koopa can be around, and an easy stun onto the heads of Jawhead, especially since it's somewhere around less than 3/4 HP, can put him in a very vulnerable spot. But he's very confident with where he is. He's very confident with the locations of where NV is. Possibly it's because of the fact that the turtle has been spawned, and he can expect that Kolia will be somewhere in bottom.
Exactly, and contesting for the turtle is going to be RSG right now. RSG tried to bait out the turtle, but look at this. Fenrir and Kolia just zoning him off, and RSG deciding not to contest for the turtle, instead going for objectives. So trying to level it out right now. Look at RSG actually, they know they're behind. So, I wouldn't say it's super fairly equal right now. Okay. Just as I say, RSG is catching up really fast.
There are 4 people committing into the turtle at the bottom. This pretty much means that whoever's at the bottom, top, as well as jungle will be catching up with the farms. So RSG, they understand that there's really not much of a point in fighting for the turtle if they are not confident, because they can just make up for the differences by their own individual
unstoppable
farms.
force onto Kolia.
Doesn't seem like he did manage to connect onto the side of Kolia, but it kind of makes sense. Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Koopa was good. It's good zoning from Koopa.
And here we go.
Diablo
Koopa on the side of Diablo, injecting. This is a soft counter that we are pretty much talking about, but it does seem like he did manage to get himself away from the bulk of NV's players, and he will be safe and sound. 0-0. None of these players are out of the game just yet. They are all constantly in a constant role in terms of farm, and they are just ensuring that they are, safe and sound. While top lane completely pressured by NV, there's really not much that Diablo could do. And Sana, Diablo, and Jason, they are coming in to contest for this. They would want to do something about this. Diablo tossed the ballista just to ensure that no more creeps continues to pressurize.
Sana getting a little bit caught out right there. Okay, I've got to say, just before that top, that contest for top turret, tier 1 turret for RSG, look at how fast LY4 came. He was quick, and look at the mobility on RSG. It's so fast. Wherever they want to go, they are there before you are. So if NV were to, ambush somebody, they have to be quick. You can't take your time for this.
This is just a farming game, right?
Yeah, it's just a farming game for now.
NV is only leading in 2000 because of the farm that they have got, the amount of gold they have gotten from hitting on the turrets, while RSG, they're playing on a safer game. They only want to engage only if they want to and only if they feel confident enough. But never did they expect that NV will be hiding inside of the brushes and managing to just take one off of the hands of Sana.
Envy going for the second turtle right now. Okay, I've got to say, look at that. Like I said, if they want to catch somebody, they have to be fast. Because if they were going to be taking down someone in that slower, slower momentum, that's it. RSG actually will come and play the retake on you, and that's it. You're going to be dead instantly. But look at that. They managed to catch out Sana. So that is a quick and fast pick, because everyone was there.
Rotations coming in from Notorious Villains is heading all the way up. They understand that they need to cut off the entire map in a horizontal row. And here we go, LY4 completely blocked out. Tortoise's Persons immediately popped up and he is still alive. A lot of damage reduction. He's not going down just yet. It's not too big of a problem. Diablo with an unstoppable force right onto Fenrir will make sure that Fenrir pops off the flicker. There's only one flicker down. 3 more to go.
I mean, that was good, right? That was good. Like Fenrir had to.
Dara.
Oh, if only he had flame shot right there.
I mean, he used the flame shot to bring Dara's health that down low.
Only he had, he timed it earlier.
This is good. This is good. Sana.
Sana.
Oh, what happened to the circling eagle? It doesn't seem like he does have the circling eagle, if I'm not wrong. He does have the circling eagle. But I don't know why he didn't quite pick up the circling eagle to single out the opponent, but it's okay. The main point is that they go for the objective. They do not want to put themselves in any uncomfortable ways to kind of make things bad for themselves. So far so good. We've got a very balanced game from both of these very established teams. RSG, they're holding themselves well. They're kind of losing out farm in a little bit, but they managed to catch up just by a bit more by taking down the 2 turrets at the top lane.
So, I mean, it's a fair trade, right?
More control. More control over the lanes. But the middle lane turret is pretty much the most important one, and pretty sure that will be the next objective they're looking out for. But we all know how tough it is to bring down even the first tier turret in the middle lane because it is just so overly accessible by literally anyone from the side of NV. And I think what RSG wants to play is that they want to out-rotate Notorious Villains.
Yeah, with high mobility, right? I mean, RSG actually, they know they're losing in farm, right? So they're like, oh, if you're going to lose somebody, at least we gain something back in return, right? Like, at least, recompensate for something you have actually lost.
So the middle lane, once again, is going to be tough. RSG would want to focus a little bit more firepower down in the bottom lane with Roger just hanging around, chilling around together with our Fenrir, I think. Oh, no, he's abused. So first tier turret at the bottom is now completely down, and thus Notorious Villains will be able to get a granted access into their opponent's jungle and just kind of storm over it. This is unsafe territory for the side of RSG. All they got to do is just hide in brushes, wait for the perfect time, and face checking brushes is going to be tough for them.
Very tough. I mean, they do not have any face check ability other than Jason, right? Oh, look at that. Sana. Better airstrike comes down. Ooh, takes a chunk of health away from Kolia right there.
So they already got a plan in play. But in the meantime, Diablo goes for the unstoppable force on the side of Dara, but unfortunately, the jab gets him out of the way pretty darn easily. And Dara doesn't even have to waste out the flicker at all.
I mean, there's time wasted for Forza, right? I mean, Forza could have spent that time, clearing out jungles or at least clearing out the lanes. But Forza was there waiting, for Dara actually. Oh, look at Sana. What a good position here. Gonna prop the Flying Eagle.
3 versus 3. Very potentially going to be 4 versus 4 because up top it does seem like we're going to be looking at Dara fighting against Diablo, and things are not looking good for Diablo with less than 50% HP. Pretty critical, but the main importance is that we're going to be looking at Sana completely dropped down by Roger, not the person that you will want him to kill actually. Kolia takes one off to the side of Bruno. RSG, they are choking. They are unable to take themselves in a better stride. They lost in the top lane because Dara exerts too much emphasis on the side of Diablo, and down in the bottom lane, or rather in the turtle, it's just too much for them to handle. A really good toss coming onto the side of Tuna, as Tuna was really out of position. They got a little bit overconfident onto their heads, and thus losing Suna.
Yeah, I've got to say, look at that push. I mean, from that push, right, from that team fight actually, Forza was off position, and RSG took advantage of that to take back Suna. Look at Forza, look at this. Forza's right there, right? Sana gets taken down, and look at that. The whole of Envy is here to pounce on you, onto that Forza.
He definitely did not expect Notorious Villains to just pop off their flickers in a sense by using it for aggression instead of an escape mechanism.
Exactly, and they trade back Suna, right? They trade Suna back because they overextended on the mid lane turret, and gets ejected by Diablo all the way to tier 1.
Really
And
good
look at
one.
LY4. Great placement right there. Very good positioning.
He's just absorbing all of the meteor shower. He did manage to pop his Tortoise's Persons, so he's not too afraid of all of that. The guiding wind from Lasana gets himself away. The fact that Airstrike is just going to pop as well, but he's going to be zoning out the opponents as much as he can. But Notorious villains, they're just a little bit far too intimidating, and with 4 stacks, or rather a few stacks onto the side of Dara, he's ready to bring out an enhanced ability to just wipe anyone off the surface of this earth. So I mean, RSG, they're very careful.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, look at LY4. He tanked so much damage that he soaked up every single thing, even the whole of Meteor Shower, right, from Fenrir. There was so much that LY4 did. Look at that, LY4 body block, right? Oh, look at that, Jason.
This is definitely not something that Fasa could tank onto. Well, in the meantime, up top, we've got Diablo getting himself, literally running away. He's got a really good sprint, really good amount of shields onto his end as well. But RSG, they have lost control of this map. There's a lot of dominance coming in, stemming in from the side of Notorious villains, and Notorious villains, they're not gonna let that, not gonna let RSG get away with all of that, right? So
they're pressuring RSG so much that, you know, RSG has no room to farm, or, you know, not even a single room for anything at all.
Way too pressurizing. Well, LY4, he's pretty much ready to scout out all of the brushes, ensuring that the traps from the side of Kolia is completely popped. Dara's mobility is too good. There's no way that they are able to get him out of this.
I've got to say, Notorious villain, actually, they do have mobility too. You have that Roger, right? You have Profito, but oh, Diablo taking a little bit of damage right there. I'm gonna prop the flicker, and Jason's gonna get caught out here. Oh, look at that. And the Meteor Shower comes in at a flank, and Jason is gonna prop that Feather Airstrike, and Diablo instantly demolish here. And look at Sana, left all alone. I mean, they took down Fenrir, right? And yeah, look at it, triple from Dara. What a play!
The priority coming in from RSG is to focus down on the Fenrir. That is the mindset of what Diablo is looking out for. He did that at the cost of his own life. Fenrir goes down, but unfortunately 2 of the other members from RSG went down as well. Now RSG, they have to fend for the inhibitor turret up in top, bottom, and mid. We've got the launch just going to be hammering down onto the bottom side. I'm not too sure whether they will be able to defend this as well. So enemies turret destroyed.
Yeah, it's good pressure.
Middle. Oh,
yeah,
middle.
It's in mid.
Okay.
Yeah,
then
so like you said, it's a top, mid, and bottom.
It's a trifecta push.
It's a 3-pronged attack onto the base.
It's gonna be tough for RSG to even defend from this from now on. We have got a massive lead that Notorious Villains has managed to get for themselves. RSG just could not capitalize in the early stages of the game. They have given Notorious Villains way too much space, and they have too much places to farm. And RSG, they just can't find a way to single out the opponents the way they wanted to. Because the main play that they want to go out for is LY4 jumping on the opponents. And then Diablo comes right in. Smart missiles as well.
Dara gets ejected, and Unstoppable Force come down, and look at 4-star's damage. Not going to take down Dara, but Feather Airstrike comes down from Jason, and Kolia all the way at the back. Meteor Shower is going to catch up. Ambasti.
Red team hero has been slain.
Not looking good at all. As Forza, Sana, and Jason is going to be the last 3 members standing to fend for themselves. Notorious Villain, though, is going to have the same amount of man count, head count, but, you know, in terms of gold is very different, right? So, Notorious Villains, they would want to back themselves off instead of forcing this out on the Forza. Kolia is going to summon back Cooper. He's still going to be A-OK. RSG's Matilda, unfortunately, I don't see a lot of pressure from the side of Matilda, despite how much damage Matilda is able to bring onto the board. Going to be rather difficult for us to handle all of that. Notorious Villains, they are just getting things pretty darn scary, and of course RSG, they, especially for Diablo, right? If you look at the replay, Diablo focused quite a bit on the side of Dara, but his burst damage is just not enough. He could not burst the opponents well enough and just allowed Dara to just come back to the game. And Fenrir
is going to get popped up right now.
Fenrir, he used up all his meteor shower. Oh, there we go. The Phantom Airstrike coming in from Jason. He's going to be right inside the base, but unfortunately, this is the most important point of time whereby RSG, the Diablo, he got a nice toss, but unfortunately the toss puts the opponent right in front of Jason, and Jason wouldn't even know what to do. And now with the massive amount of creep, it's just going to be hammering right down onto the core. What exactly can they do? Ambius is going to be taking the front lines. The meteor shower is just going to be showering on the side of Jason. He can't even get himself away from all of that. LY4 and Diablo is going to be left alone to fend for the core.
Oh, that was such a good finish there from Notorious Villains. Okay, how they won this? Notorious Villains put immense pressure onto RSG, right? Like, RSG has no room to farm. Forza was always out of position.
I think that they do have a decent amount of CC here, right?
Very balanced.
Yeah, they do have 3 total CC, if not 4, if we are counting the stun that Bruno is able to put out there. While RSG, they do have a decent amount as well. We do have Abyssal Arrow, we do have Unstoppable Force plus Force Ejector. We are looking at the Desert the Raging Sandstorm from Khalid as well. So a good amount. This game is pretty darn balanced. This is very likely a game of survivability for the side of RSG. Whoever stays alive the longest, the more they peel and the more damage they deal. So in some sense, if Envy is unable to, in some sense, burst down RSG's lineup, then Notorious Villains will slowly start to bleed.
Yeah, ooh, Forza taking a little bit of damage there. But well, hey,
please don't die here.
No, I don't think he will. But I've got to say, was that a rap that you did?
Wait, Forza on...
Yeah, Forza on... Wait, what?
Diablo...
Oh, that's so weird.
Oh, okay, so, yes! Yes! No, Forza is playing as tank rover, and Diablo is playing on the side laner, not the other way around. Yes!
Oh, okay.
Yes!
Oh my god, you and your grudge against that Khalid
No, it
tank.
makes so much sense for them to do that.
I mean, definitely makes sense, but you know, we have seen meta where it just question marks, right? Like, huh? What are they doing, right? Like, it gives that, it makes you frown. But hey, guess what? LY4 is back on call along with Sana.
And now, we shall see. I really hope that Diablo playing on the Khalid is able to put out quite a show, you know? A lot of peeling potential, but Sana is the one that dictates the pace of this game, right?
For sure.
Whichever this Abyssal Arrow lands on, Forza jumps right in and does whatever that he needs to. But it is not an easy task, because don't forget, there is quite a bit of Popol's trap all around the place that may disrupt their timing. So even if Sana is able to get a really nice stun in, the timing will be completely way off, and Kolya will be able to continue with more stuns on his own part.
But hey, look at this. Notorious Villains with 3 purifies. So no matter what you try to do, they're going to purify it out of you, just like how Kolya did.
They just need, then in this case, they just really need to ensure that they constantly put up the pressure with all of the stuns into play. Just constantly make NV think that they need to pop the purify. But, well, Notorious Villains, they know very well that RSG is going for this turtle, and Notorious Villains, I don't think that they will want to challenge this at all. The Retribution coming in from LY4 manages to immediately take this turtle for themselves, while Ambius goes straight in the bottom lane for a little bit of a proxy action to ensure that he gets a lot more farming gold.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen how RSG actually did a comeback, right? RSG, now they know. They have to prioritize their turtle first before Notorious Villain does. Because Notorious Villains took that first turtle away from them, they are going to suffer. But instead, this time, they're going to take it back.
Take it. RSG, Forza, Unstoppable Force, and the Force Ejector round. Oh! Just coming in. He got the Diablo, but Diablo! Diablo! He went for the greed. They wanted to get the kill on top of Dara despite his stacks going right up. And this is not looking good, but Forza, there we go. Oh! Dara, no!
Dara is still alive in this. Oh my, look at that. Like I said, the moment Uranus slips through, that's it. Immediately gone. Because look at that clutch. He clutched it twice. Look at this. Forza jumping in, right? Look at this. Diablo taking that Dara damage, right? Look at this. He jumps in, but Dara getting that 4th stack onto, oh my god, onto Diablo and instantly demolishes.
Man, oh man.
On
the other side of the map though, Forza has admitted defeat, and he just went all the way down to the bottom lane. Did manage to bring Suna down to the ground as dead as a doornail, so that is a great start. While Fenrir gets himself all the way down to the bottom lane, clear out all the wave, so no more meteor shower from the side of Notorious Villains. RSG may want to start putting up a little bit more aggression over to the side of NV. Hopefully, they're able to do that.
Look at Diablo. Again,
no.
all the way in the back lines. But
He's a little bit tanky as long as he gets himself into into the sand. Should be.
or he can go full tank.
I don't think he's going full tank. Nah, he's mostly going on a sustainable route.
Yeah, exactly. And look at this. Forza playing. I've actually never seen Forza play. Oh, good catch onto Mbastizi. Oh, he's going to get ejected. Mountain Shocker comes down. Look at that. Kolya's taking a little bit of damage. Oh, Meteor Shower going to... Oh, look at that. What a good catch from LY4. LY4 just doing LY4 things. Sana nearly getting caught out right there. And look at that. Zara trying to catch on to Sana, but he's going to be able to back off. And LY4 not taking that much damage.
Too much stacks onto the side of Dara. Forza is still holding himself in the opponent's jungle.
Oh,
Really nice
what
flicker right on top of Suna. Diablo was able to get that kill on top of Suna, and that is one kill for the side of RSG. They managed to capture the objective, and that is literally the thing that they need to look out for. So they picked Suna out. That is going to put Suna in like a 20 seconds countdown, 20 seconds of no farming. And thus RSG is going to take this time to ally LY4, go back in the jungle and farm up a lot more as compared to what Suna is capable of.
He's got to snowball harder and faster than Suna right now. Look at that. Suna being forced to, I mean, that's a hit to the farm, right? Oh, look at that. Unstoppable Force comes down onto Fenrir. Fenrir's going to get Mountain Shocker comes out. Kolya and Fenrir taking a little bit of damage here. Kolya's going to get immediately executed by LY4. Look at Mbastizi right now. LY4 putting the aggression. The arrow goes wide, but look at Mbastizi with the ultimate, but nearly dying. It's going to be LY4.
This is a pretty good game from the side of RSG. The difference in terms of gameplay from the side of Forza as well as Diablo is unfortunately day and night, right? Forza jumps right in, he knows exactly what he wants to do. Fortunately, because of the grand movement speed that he's able to get from the support emblem, he can go in and out pretty darn easily, and not to forget his flicker advantage that Forza is able to go for flicker, toss people right out, and then go for the Unstoppable Force. It grants him great initiation capabilities as well as great escape mechanism by using his Unstoppable Force.
Exactly. Oh, Raging Sandstorm is going to miss Fenrir.
Yeah.
Good damage though, good damage.
Yep.
I mean,
Desert Tornado dealt a lot of damage from that point, but unfortunately wasn't able to seal the deal, like just cap it all off with that Raging Sandstorm. In the meantime, it does seem like we do have a little bit of action up on top. Diablo suffering just by a little bit, as there's a little bit too much priority check from the side of
SP. Look at that. Fenrir gonna get caught out, and Sana instantly melts Fenrir.
That is what we are looking out for Forza. He really wanted to go for the toss on top of Kolya, but unfortunately, well, Popol and Koopa doing Popol and Koopa things, ensuring that the Koopa is always right on top of this jawhead to ensure that no topsy-turvy kind of thing going on about.
I've got to say, Forza played it very well. I mean, they should have started with this roster for that first game, right? I mean, LY4 is a beast on core especially, and Forza is good at zoning, good at catching out people like Fenrir especially.
So I think that this is where situational awareness comes into play, right?
Oh, look at this, Kolya getting zoned all the way
Not
back.
good.
Look at Forza.
Almost getting caught. Forza
look at Suna. Suna's going to catch out LY4 is going to be able to fall out.
No problem. It does seem like he will be able to get himself out of the way while Fenrir just popping right out with the meteor shower. The Mountain Shocker! Right onto Fenrir. A shocker indeed. But unfortunately, a lot of them is just going to escape with just a slip of health. But Jason comes right in. He spits the booze right into the opponents. He spits the sharks right on the side of Dara as well as Kolya, forcing them inside of the turret. It's just going to be right under the turret's nose. They have nowhere to run. Diablo in the front, LY4 in the back, but they don't really care about Dara, and that puzzles me.
My God, Forza, okay, good sacrifice from Forza there, right? Catching Mbastizi, catching out Kolya. It was good, hard play. That is what RSG actually is. Look at this. LY4 nearly getting caught out here. He gets stunned up, right?
No problem.
He dashes away. But look at Dara taking so much damage here. Fenrir all the way in the back line. Forza just soaking up everything, right? And Mountain Shocker comes in. Look at that. Jason, so they're going to catch out Mbastizi easily here. And look at Kolya.
Clutch buff from Fenrir though. If not for the clutch buff, he would have been dead. Literally would have been dead. But in the meantime, let's just focus on attention up top. A really good unstoppable force as well as the force ejector right on top of Dara. But unfortunately, not much of the follow-ups is going to be happening right onto Dara. Well, Mbastizi He's gonna get a lot of people right on top of his head. He still goes down,
LY4.
but how about LY4? He's dead as well. Jason is just gonna be taking a bulk of the damage while Sana and Jason gives chase onto Dara. But unfortunately, timing has been set off because of all the traps that Kolia managed to put right onto the ground, while Diablo is still
Diablo
all alone at the top side. The quick sand guard did manage to get himself right back into a healthy state of mind, but unfortunately, Tsuna, Kolia, and Fenrir deals way too much damage for Diablo to even get away.
I mean, there was no one there to block LY4, right?
Nope.
LY4 was soaking up so much damage, but I've got to say, that team fight, that was RSG bad, right? That was the con of RSG.
Oh,
Forza actually caught out Dara with Unstoppable Force and eject. Like, why would you go for Uranus?
Go for Kolia. Go for Kolia. Kolia does not have any more Purify. We do have the Shark that is just going to be consuming the opponent's health. But it does seem like the Shark is not as painful as all of the universe. Just going to be crashing right on top of RSG. They are unable to get themselves the lead that they wanted. They did have really good lead in the early start, but unfortunately they're starting to slightly
Crumble.
choke. And
Crumbling.
unable to do anything here.
Yeah, I mean, RSG is crumbling down. I mean, with that play from Dara, Dara is just unkillable right now. Look at this. Definitely a fight gonna go on. Look at this. Sana. Okay, I've got to say, Sana, I would say the Selena is a good pick, right? It's a good pick. But it's more of a, I picking up one person kind of thing. So that Koopa will be there to stop it, right? So Forza, he does catch people off guard sometimes, especially with Fenrir, right? During that early game, he catches off Fenrir, but in the late game, he starts to, crumble under pressure a little bit. He catches Dara. I'm not sure why.
RSG though, you're gonna be trying to put a little bit more emphasis over the 50 line. Forza a little bit ballsy, a little bit bold. The first person that he found, it is going to be Dara. They baited out the meteor shower. That's a great start. That is an absolute great start. Forza is just going to be waiting for the perfect time in order to get himself the flicker in. 30 seconds to go. But I don't think they will be looking out for that. They're just going to reset themselves just by a little bit. Get themselves more control throughout the entirety of the map. Allow LY4 to get the farm up. Because the main thing is that they don't need the Lord. They don't want the Lord. They just want to ensure that Notorious villains don't get the Lord.
Exactly. And Forza resetting the blue buff right there. Good play. And look at that. RSG will be there to steal it. Hopefully, definitely trying to steal it. Look at that. LY4.
They want to ensure that LY4 gets a kill on the blue buff. All Koopa, HP may go down low real soon. A bit buggy, if you ask me.
Poopa's like sliding over the floor, is rubbing. Look at that.
Only when he starts to attack, then you'll start to see his health bar coming back out. But you know what, Forza, it does seem like he's in a really bad spot. But thank God, Notorious Villains doesn't want to commit into it. They do not want to commit into this just yet. The Lord is now enhanced. Now it makes sense for RSG to start taking control of the Lord. Sana has been taking quite a bite from the side of Kolia, but they are not too afraid because he is the support. After all, not much of a marksman that they were hoping, they were thinking of. But Notorious Villains, they're holding back for now.
So much, right? I mean, especially RSG. We've seen the aggression in the early game, but late game, not much. But Forza's gonna get stunned up right here. And Mountain Shotgun's gonna come down. Look at this. Dara taking a little bit of damage, able to escape. And not much happening here. Forza ejected Kolia right there and launch it. Oh, look at this.
And Bill CZ goes down to the hands of LY4. This pretty much means that 3 of the members from NV is now dead. And here we go, the toss onto Dara. He's still alive though, but 5 men from RSG, they are definitely going to get themselves the free meal onto the Lord.
They're going to try for the Lord.
Definitely. The Lord is going to be in play. LY4 hammering down to the Lord. The rest of RSG focusing and ensuring that NV do not get any closer. And thus, the Lord is dead. He will now be fighting for the cause of RSG as he tramples and pillages Notorious Villain from the middle.
Gotta say, that was a good play from RSG. LY4 catches out people like one by one, and especially Kolia too. Dara, he's just insane. He's on another level, right? Like, he doesn't die at all because of that regen. I've got to say, Forza, good picks. Yeah, right?
Zero death on Dara.
Zero death. Literally unkillable.
There's a lot of times that he could have been dead. But in the meantime, Abyssal Arrow, it does seem like it landed right on top of the most important hero. Suna is now dead, and it does seem like Sana almost tried to manage to get a really nice burst down the Fenrir. He goes in for a reset. The middle lane inhibitor is dead, and we have the Lord. They're still trampling down. The bot lane is also dead, but RSG, they would want to get themselves out of here. The Raging Sandstorm from the side of Diablo. He gets himself out. Dara is in the midst of everyone else, right in the hearts of these enemies. But for now, he's just going to be sampling it all out and just going to be receiving and peeling for his team. But the most important point is the fact that RSG manages to get themselves the tier 1, managed to get themselves the inhibitor.
Yeah,
in the
they
middle
got
and the
both
bot.
tier 3, right? Middle and bot. But RSG is putting immense pressure. Look at that. Fenrir, Forza soaking up the whole of Meteor Shower. Look at that. Dara getting ejected away. Sana right in the hearts. Oh no! LY4 did get taken down there. We didn't see that. But did he get taken down?
Apparently, he got taken down pretty early. Like maybe 40 seconds ago.
Oh, I was maybe we weren't paying attention. But hey, look at that. Diablo gets taken down too. So RSG right now forced to play passive. So they put a lot of pressure, right? But at what cost? You're going to lose 2 men, and then you're going to be down 2 men basically, right? And you have 3 to, actually push.
Fenrir picked up a mask.
What?
Huh?
I mean, he's the lowest, right? So it kind of makes sense.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, he's the lowest, so it definitely makes sense. Look at Forza. Look at how tanky Forza is. Look at that.
Are they
Oh
even hitting
my God,
him?
melted.
Are they even hitting him?
They are not. Look at this. Oh, ejected onto Mbati. Sana going to get forced out. Look at Dara. Kolya.
Kolya. Everyone else is just going to be inside of it. It's just so close to one another. And in this case, it just seems like Papa and Cooper is not going to be working well for them as RSG manages to get themselves this game. This game is down for the count, I'm pretty sure. And Bill Steezy, what exactly can he do at this point of time, man? He's just going to be flying up into the air. He's trying to be sustainable as much as possible. But middle lane and bottom lane is down. Thus, all of the mega creeps is going to be hammering right down, right onto the core.
And what a game from RSG. I mean, RSG actually learned from their mistakes. They know, they actually see, Notorious villains, they play early game.
Onto a safe place, then he should be able to farm the creeps at the bottom lane pretty safely. So,
sure, but I mean, if they were to, invade or gank, it would be dangerous, right?
Yeah, Matilda is the one that Claude should really look out for.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, because
they're already going to top. They know it.
Matilda is very sticky. So as long as Matilda is always onto the backs of Claude wouldn't really have a good time. But the way that this greedy lineup plays out is that their early game has to be extremely sustainable, and they need to be able to put down a lot of snowball action on the side of RSG. If they manage to get the snowball down, then it's going to help Claude in a massive early game farm in order for both Suna as well as Mbuse to go online in the mid stages of the game. Otherwise, just play it all the way to the late game, which is something that can be supplemented by Kolya playing as a Rafaela.
Ooh, Forza with Matilda though. Oh, Diablo taking a little bit of damage here on the bot lane by Thamus. But good trade.
A lot of shields being popped right up.
Oh, Heartstring is gonna immobilize on to Kolya right now, but okay, nothing wrong. Oh, good shield. It's very, balanced right now.
I'm not going to be expecting much in the early stages of the game, because this is a little bit out of Notorious play zone, right? Usually, they play pretty aggressive in the early stage of the game, and they would want to put out as much dominance throughout the lane. But the only players that can do that kind of dominance is going to be Yves, Rafaela, as well as Bruno. But considering the fact that they don't have a lot of CCs, in fact, they don't have any CCs, it is going to be tough for them to single out one person, and thus RSG's Sana, that is playing as the Angela, should be able to capture one person in its very essence pretty darn easily, and Diablo would have free reigns all over the map. It's literally free real estate.
Oh, look at Forza. Forza's in a good position. Oh, they're not going to check the brush. Oh, Fenrir. Okay, that Forza is going to give info for the team. LY4 looking for the steal.
Still, no steal incoming, unfortunately. Asuna takes the turtle for himself with the power of the retribution. RSG wasn't active enough. Oh, Diablo! Oh, just a sliver of health on the side of Dara. Diablo, please. You had your greed in the early start. Please do not greed out anymore. Asuna finds himself a kill on the side of Diablo, as Diablo really wanted to go for more onto Sana. side of Dara. A different type of greed, you know?
Different type.
Yeah, wholeheartedly different type of greed. But he definitely understands that now. He needs to know that he can't just jump into the fray anytime that he wants, because despite how greedy Notorious Villains lineup is with the double
look at Forza.
they can still play really actively. As you can pretty much see right here, it does seem like we do have a really nice hard guard from the side of Sana to empower Forza empower Forza to get out and perhaps deal a little bit more chip damage from the side of Notorious Villains. But in the long run, Notorious Villains definitely have got what it takes to win this game, but RSG, in the mid stages of the game, they gotta have to end it right there and then.
I mean, RSG is playing so late game right now, right? As you can see, they are not playing super aggressive. They are waiting it out. They are playing it late game.
To get to the late game, that is the question. Will it blend? That is once again the question, because I really want to see a blender coming out from either one of the sides, because both RSG and Notorious Villains, actually Notorious Villains is more of a death ball. They are more death ball-y than RSG because of the Rafala and the double marksman combo. But in the early stage, they are going to be falling off quite a bit of damage, and Bius, I don't expect him to be able to dish out a lot of damage. So his presence in the lane is not going to be that important. The main thing that he has got to do is to ensure that he keep the lane safe and sound.
Look at this. Diablo doing a lot of damage onto Mbastizi right now.
But the Purify, though, is
Will
definitely
pain.
Diablo,
good catch.
Diablo is putting out really good aggression, but unfortunately, Notorious Villains have really good answers to the aggression that RSG is trying to put out. We do have the heartstrings right on top of to Jason. Jason is trying to get himself right deep into the enemy's lines. Unfortunately, he's gonna go straight down. It could be a 1-4-2 offer, but Sana gets himself away just in the nick of time. Dara doesn't have much of that, the Cauldron Inferno, and thus gets himself right out of the fray, while RSGSG could not get themselves that single kill despite having a Matilda as well as a Diablo.
I mean, there was good aggression coming out from Jason and Sana, right? I mean, Jason went all the way in. Hard guy comes out from Sana, catches out Suna, but not enough damage because Jason is only at level 6, so he does not come online as of now.
RSG is not performing their very best.
I mean, they need to wait late game, right? According to the draft, they are very late game.
Notorious Villains wins in a long shot in terms of late game. RSG is more of a mid-game kind of control, especially when we are looking at Matilda. Matilda sets the pace of the game in the early stages, but unfortunately, Forza playing as Matilda wasn't that impactful enough, especially since Notorious Villains, they know their lineup pretty darn well. So they ensure that Suna is constantly dealing damage from the back lines, Kolya is the one that's tanking in the front lines, and of course, Give is just there.
Further back.
Yeah, even further back, because Suna is like kind of like the second priority, and Fenrir is the third priority. Whoever jumps onto Suna, that is the real-world manipulation that's going to be dropped down.
Oh, look at this. Jump onto Mbastizi. LY4 here to follow up, but no dive coming up from RSG right now.
They're trying their very best. I can really tell that RSG is trying to squeeze in as much aggression onto the side of NV as much as possible. And even down to the bottom lane, Notorious Villains is paying them a favor.
Oh no,
right
look
on
at
to
Jason.
Tries to kite out against NV, maybe just one more second, and you know, Jason couldn't have been able to get away from all of that. 4-0 within 6 minutes. This is definitely not a good start for RSG, as most of the deaths were credited by Diablo. They finally got one.
Yeah,
this may be the momentum. This may very well be the momentum. As we do have the real-world manipulation, they're just going to be pushing everyone away. Sana with just a sliver of health, but unfortunately, it does seem like the magic proc from the side of Fenrir with the emblem is the one that's just going to be burning Sana down to death as Dara takes another one off of the heads of Forza. One by one, RSG is slowly getting decapitated by RSG.
I mean, that's when everyone starts to come online, right? Especially with Mbastizi and Suna too. But look at Suna. Suna is already online and Forza is nowhere close, right? RSG has to play late. Look at this, right? Real World Pain comes out. Look at Sana. Boom! Takes a lot of damage and instantly procced up.
The burn.
The burn.
I'm not too sure whether that was a glowing wand on the side of Fenrir, but regardless, that damage over time is gonna be painful. Forza, eyes on Forza, with just a swipe of health. He tries to get himself away, but unfortunately the football is just crashing right on top of his face. It is gonna be a 1-for-1 trade in favor of RSG for now. Every one of them is just gonna be putting down most of this momentum on the side of this Dara as he tries to go back into the fray to get a kill onto LY4. This is rather bad for NV as RSG pressed on to ensure that they bring down most, if not all, of NV's players. And now top lane first tier turret is down, second tier turret in the top lane is down as well. Diablo and his aggression is finally coming into play and of course yielding more fruit of the season.
It was good. Look at that fight, 2 for 4. It's definitely towards in the favor of RSG. So RSG needs this momentum to start moving, right? Look at this. RSG finally gaining some momentum from the team fight. If they were supposed to disengage, I thought they were going to disengage. I thought they were going to play passive, but instead they play aggressive. They were paying.
Guiding wins. Forza gets himself away, but RSG with the momentum. I'm pretty sure that they want to get in your face on NV as much as possible. But the unfortunate thing is the only information that they have is Kolea was somewhere around and in front of the Turtle's pit.
Forza takes the turtle hit.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of the aggro. Gets a recall back home, while Notorious Villains is going to be focusing down more of their damage onto the side of this turtle with the Mountain Shocker jumping right on top on Notorious Villains. Not that big of amount of a damage, and that is just going to buff up Tuna with a little bit more tankiness to survive in the next few team fights.
Alright, LY4 picking up the BOD right now. It's a little bit late for a BOD, don't you think?
Not too sure about
that. Look at Jason. Oh, I've got to say that's a very good combo if you think of it. Alice, Angela, and Matilda.
Yep,
they provide so much heal, right? In and out, yeah, exactly.
White Crystal didn't quite land. They do want to find small little pickoffs on the side of RSG. The death ball is upcoming. The death ball is upcoming. And it does seem like Forza is just going to be in front of everything else. The real world manipulation manipulated RSG to have Forza down to the ground as he meets his maker while Diablo is slowly getting himself away. No! What are you doing, Diablo? He tries to clear the waves. He gets stunned up. He gets flickered away. But Shumpo saves his life as he gets himself away with just a sliver of hell.
Okay, I've got to say, look at that. Forza, during that fight, he catches out so many people, but not enough. He catches 2, right? He catches 2, but he was being focused down by Notorious Villains, and just like that, he's gonna die.
28,000 as compared to 26,000. A 2,000 gold lead that Notorious Villains has. Jason just barely managed to get out of the range of the real world manipulation. Notorious Villains is slowly getting themselves on top of this game as they constantly got themselves in the lead in terms of gold, in terms of kills, and also in terms of... okay, actually just that, because RSG does have a little bit more objective taken down in terms of turrets.
There's that 1 tower lead actually. 1 tower lead for RSG right now, but at the same time, Notorious Villain is having the goal lead right now and the kill lead. So RSG has to play the momentum game. They have to wait for a pick off, actually pick somebody off, right? Like especially, especially Kolea. Oh, look at this.
Diablo. Not the right target. Not the right target onto Dara. Okay, never mind. It is a damn well good target as they're all gonna be capitalizing onto Dara. The regen. This is what we call the Quadrant Inferno. But it's not enough because it's 1v3 after all. So this is good, right? Because they're going to set up for a battle over at the other side of the map. As all 3 members from RSG, they're focusing down onto the inhibitor turret. The top lane inhibitor turret is gonna go straight down. That is going to be a lead that RSG is going to get for themselves as the Lord is going to be marching right up to the top lane or the bottom lane.
I think it will be the bottom lane right now. Oh, look at this. Good catch. Oh, real world manipulation comes out. Look at Tuna. Oh, what a good 3-man stun right now. And Jason taking a little bit of damage, takes down Kolea. And Winter Truncheon is going to get procced up too. Kolea gets taken down. Look at this. Embassy looking very low. Sana here not trying to... Oh, a triple kill coming in. Oh, look at this.
HP down low.
Down low. I mean, Dara has such good sustainability. He's going top. The Lord's going top lane.
It doesn't really matter right now because RSG, they managed to force this fight against Notorious villains, and this will allow them to reset themselves and make sure that they get the kill down onto the Lord before he even march onto the turret and even give them a nice solid push down into the lane. So they do have time to play this around, right? There's not a massive lead that Notorious villains have, and considering the fact that an inhibitor turret up top lane is down, it gives them a lot more ways to play around for the next 3 minutes.
Exactly, and look at that replay right there. LY4 just on the wrong side of the map. Dara just regenerating non-stop.
See,
Oh,
RSG
look at Jason.
just doing what they can. They want to ensure that the second tier turret stays alive, but unfortunately, the health of this Lord is just way too much. In fact, this is not an enhanced Lord, so it doesn't matter that much as real-world manipulation coming up for Fenrir. It's just going to be holding down this
Jason all the way at the back.
Jason gets himself out. There is going to be a hard cut. Oh, Suna with that final soccer ball right in the face of Alice. He goes down. RSG wants to hold it all off, and Besizi as well as Kolia. HP down low. Diablo with the aggression. Oh, Suna, the burst damage is just a little bit too much for them to handle. Jumps right in. He manages to just immediately swipe the neck of Suna and decapitated him once and for all.
What a play. Look at that. LY4 nearly dying to Suna right there, and Suna was a little bit off position, and just like that, LY4 has the quicker hands and is going to take Suna down. So it is a fair 2-for-2 trade right now. It's very fair. Notorious villains, RSG, SG, they're going to be playing it. They're literally on edge right now, right? It's a free-for-all right now. It's literally, you know, they're trading jabs, they're trading blows right now. Notorious villains and RSG.
This is a very fair game.
Very fair.
But I'm not too sure whether RSG can even win in the late games, considering the fact that Mbestizi is slowly getting online. The early stages of the game, his blazing duet
Doesn't do anything at all.
it just tickles.
It tickles.
It really just tickles.
I mean, look at this now. He's not even dealing that much.
He's not dealing that much on the top lane turret.
But it's slowly coming, right?
I'm surprised that RSG is not even trying to capitalize on the defense that MBCZ is trying to put out onto top lane. They're not trying to capture him. They're afraid, and they don't really have a lot of information. They're very sticky. RSG is very sticky, like a pack of sardines.
No, RSG is getting a little bit splitted right now.
Very split up. They want to
If somebody gonna get caught, that's it. Immediately gone.
anyone that, whoever's gonna get caught, I think that the first one to get caught is gonna be Diablo. He's trying to play a lot more on a split push way, and so far Notorious Villains has been responding and giving and putting a really nice answer to it.
Dara. The
Dara
answer to Chao is Dara.
Yes, exactly. Chao alone cannot deal with this Thamus. What he can do is that he can bait out that Quarter Inferno, and pretty much that is it. Top lane has its natural impact on the game. Chou honestly doesn't really need to put so much emphasis on the top lane.
Yeah.
They just need RSG just needs to buy time. They really just need to buy time. They just need to make Notorious Villains commit a lot into a team fight, and that should be able to help RSG push down even more in the top lane and maybe chip off a little bit more health on the core.
Now, RSG is putting immense pressure onto Notorious Villains right now.
The control that RSG has is pretty darn good for now, only because that they took the bet to push down to the top lane.
Instead of taking the Lord.
Yeah, but now, because of the fact that they have the top lane turret, they don't care about the bottom lane Lord. In fact, they gave it over to Notorious Villains. Also, number one, it is not an enhanced Lord. And number two, once the Lord at the down bottom is dead, the next Lord will be popping up at the top lane. And if they have the inhibitor turret in the top lane down, naturally, the nature takes its course. They will be able to get themselves a good amount of zoning potential against Notorious Villains.
Jason, all the way in the back lines, look at this, and Mbestizi also taking a little bit of damage here.
Doesn't seem like things are looking good for the side of Notorious Villains with two men coming right down. Kolia, next one in the line, going into the execution. And now Mbestizi as well as Dara is going to be the last man remaining. They're going to go straight in for the Enhanced Lord with 30 HP left, 20,000 HP left. 15,000. RSG is definitely going to be taking this Lord down, and of course, the Enhanced Lord will then be marching right on top, while RSG goes for the three-pronged attack from middle and bottom. This would ensure that the bottom lane inhibitor turret is 100% secured.
Yeah, I mean, look at Diablo, right? He's so focused on doing their split push. Oh, Jason with that immortality. All right, so Jason is going to be super duper tanky right now, along with Hard Guard too. Look at that.
That's the frontliner.
Yeah, they are taking away everything that Notorious Villains needs right now.
Who would have imagined that RSG is able to take the control of this game despite being in a semi-late game? While Notorious Villains with a double marksman is unable to do anything at this point of time. Diablo split pushing down at the bottom. They really want to get the inhibitor turret as much as possible, as Forza goes for the guiding wind. He wants to get himself closer and closer over to the side of Invitational. And here we have river manipulation. Not to forget, also all of the fire coming down from the heavens down to ground. The rest of RSG, they want to capitalize on this. Jason in the heart of the enemies. He does have the hard gun on top of him, but unfortunately he wasn't able to stay himself alive. So he's gonna be popping right up onto his revive. He's back to the game, and still RSG is not dead. The one main problem for Notorious Villains is that Dara is now dead. RSG, with most of their members already down to a critical amount of health, they don't have to force this out. They are running right back home.
Oh, they're trying to catch LY4 right here. Look at this.
The Void Crystal lands. Diablo goes for a Shimpo. Jikundo gets himself out. He's A-OK. And RSG with a total of 6,000 gold lead, as well as a completely barren base on the side of Notorious Villains, is going to be the guiding light of RSG to win in this very specific game against the Notorious Villains, to ensure they can get themselves the slot in the upper bracket of the playoffs.
I mean, they are so determined right now, right? RSG needs that opportunity, actually the game, to secure that upper bracket right now. And Notorious is just sitting comfortably. They do not want to go up against RSG in the upper bracket.
Forza, he's got good information.
Very
Soul
good.
Bloom, ensuring that he's right in front of the enemies.
Oh.
And there we go, the Circling Eagle! Ensures that he just groups everyone up. He is going to be a sacrifice and just trying to get himself and everyone else together.
Oh,
but unfortunately, it doesn't affect him. He gets one, he gets two as well. Jason gets one on the Invitational. The blazing duet is just doing so much damage. Watsuna gets one onto Angela as well. Notorious Villains managed to capitalize all of that scenario despite being zoned out by a Circling Eagle that Forza was able to provide onto the field. He did not manage to pop his Aegis in time, and with 40 seconds counting down on the clock, Notorious Villains, they really want to bring this second tier turret down as fast as possible and perhaps
look at that.
even end the game.
I think they're gonna go for the end. Look at this.
It is very evident. It is very possible. LY4, what can you do? Mountain Shocker, Void Crystal, LY4, down! LY4, down! The turret, the core! They're back in
They're
all
going for
in.
the game.
And Diablo, 7 seconds, Forza, 2 seconds. What can they do at this point of time? Colia,
Oh my god, Notorious Villain with the comeback onto RSG in the final game. Oh my god. Did he look? Oh my god, I'm in shock.